Hi, Statesmen Nation. We are sitting down with Kelcey Aczon-Kwamura of the women's bowling team. I don't think I completely got that name right, but we got it pretty close.
Hmm.
Part of our feature series we started to do here, just diving in a little deeper on our student athletes, finding out what their story is outside of just their sport. So we're excited to have Kelcey here today, and we're just going to learn a lot more about her, break these into a few different segments, and talk about growing up, high school, etc., family, William Penn, all that. So we're just gonna have some fun talking. All right, Kelcey. Let's just start right away, athletically at least.
Hmm.
Um, what got you into bowling?
My family.
Okay.
We basically just went to the bowling alley. We we bowled late at night, midnight, because it was $1, so it was cheap. And we just kind of hung out. It was like a family bonding thing. And then we saw this guy next to us, and he was bowling differently than what I've seen. And I was like, oh wow, let me try that. And it was two hands. So I was like, okay. So I tried throwing with two hands, and then I guess that's where everything started.
Right. So age wise.
I would say I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. So I
Okay.
was
So
still
late
doing,
bloomer. Okay.
yeah, I was still doing basketball at the time. And I was like, my mind is set on basketball.
Right.
And then that happened, and it just, everything flipped.
Gotcha. Should probably tell everybody you're from Las Vegas. We said, off camera, Vegas, obviously metropolitan area, a million people in that area,
Hmm.
whatever. So a lot of opportunities for growth, a lot of opportunities for competition and stuff. Talk about, competition in Vegas. What was that like?
Um, it's way different from what I've experienced here in the Midwest. I would say bowling back in the West is definitely growing. At the time, it wasn't as big as it is now. So the competition wasn't crazy, but it was still, for my age and my skill level, it was pretty difficult for me.
Sure. All right. Jumped over a huge thing. Let's talk about your family. Growing up, brothers, sisters. What was the family dynamic like?
So originally I was born and raised in Hawaii for 10 years, and then that's when we moved to Vegas when I was 10. Yeah, turning 10. Um, Back in Hawaii, I don't remember much, to be honest. It's kind of a blur. But I would say my family's pretty close now after everything that we've been through. It's good dynamic.
Gotcha. How many brothers and sisters you have?
I have two sisters,
Okay.
and that's it.
And you're the middle, the
Oh, I'm the
oldest?
youngest. I'm
Okay,
the
the
baby.
youngest, you're the baby. All right.
Hmm.
What was it like being the baby?
Um, I would say there's favoritism
Yeah.
on me. My sisters don't like that my parents have favorites, but I don't think so. But it's hard for me to say.
Yeah. Baby never thinks that they get baby right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hmm.
All right. Let's fast forward a little bit more into your story. You said you were doing basketball, you're doing bowling. When did you break off and say, all right, you know what? Bowling's my thing now?
Sophomore year of high school,
Okay.
I joined their team, and then um, I think I don't remember fully, but I'm pretty sure I ended up joining like a league bowling. And then I found a coach, like a personal coach, and then he just kind of coached me through my years until college. Even in college, he still coaches me.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, Switching over, and you said this off camera, um, wasn't always the easiest. Obviously, bowling, just like every other sport, you have your ups and downs. There's
Hmm.
never, you're not just a continual linear progression of greatness and until you're perfect, and then you stay perfect. And you have the good days and bad days. What was it? Adversity, any adversity in high school, were like, you know what? I feel like I'm good, but then you get knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah, definitely going from high school to college was a change for me, especially with even the cultural change. But it's a different skill level in college, you know. I didn't get the competition that I got here in Vegas, so just trying to adapt to that and figure out a way to get better was definitely difficult.
Yep. All right. We do have quite a few Las Vegas individuals on different sports here at William Penn, just a William Penn way going outside of the state to get our talent. But what drew you to William Penn?
I love the coach, Kirsten, my coach Kirsten. She was just kind of very open, and she was kind of like like a mother, you know? She's like a mother to me. So just being able to be comfortable with her and being able to talk to her easily, and also the team as well. I mean, I had multiple people come to my visit, and they were just very open and very nice to me.
Great. Um, is it a one and done situation as far as like, you know what, William Penn's looking at me. I like William Penn. I'm not even going to waste my time talking to anybody else.
No, I had a few other schools looking at me, and I was looking at them as well. But when it came down to just narrowing down one school, it was a talk between me, my family, and even the coaches as well.
Right. And then you chose to be a Statesman. So that was 4 years ago now, as you're in your senior year. So let's talk about transitioning to William Penn, making the move to the Midwest. How was that your first year and the first? Let's go with the first month or so that you were in the Midwest. Hawaii, very different than Las Vegas. Las Vegas is definitely different than Oskaloosa, Iowa.
It was a big change for me for sure. Just the culture in itself. I mean, you go from like a big city, and then now I'm coming to like a small town. So, I mean, I enjoy the big city. I am a city girl, but I also enjoy having like a small little community where everybody knows everyone. But the change as far as weather was very difficult. I'm still not used to it. But, I mean, it wasn't hard for me to make friends because I was part of a team already, so I could hang out with them. But even outside of that, people were still nice. You know, they were very open to having new friends. So it was really nice and easy.
There you go. All right, so the first year, you've kind of been right there in the varsity mix throughout your Statesman career. Let's talk about that first year of bowling and just how you grew and figured things out a little bit more. You said the competition level is much different. When did and maybe this wasn't first year, maybe this has been later, so we might be mixing in a few things. When did it feel like, all right, I belong here? I can call myself a collegiate bowler.
My first year here, it was very difficult. Just seeing the different skill levels that my teammates had compared to me, and as an incoming freshman, you think, oh, okay, like I'm this good, I should be able to be this good on the team. But I think when I actually felt like, oh, okay, I deserve to be like a collegiate bowler was probably the end of my sophomore year. It was I had another coach come in as well. She was a GA, and I'm not saying my coach, head coach Kirsten isn't great. 'Cause she is, but just having another coach see things from a different perspective also helped me understand my game, and it really helped me a lot.
Yeah, especially being a two-handed bowler. I'm not sure if you're talking about this GA being a two-handed bowler or whatever, but I'm sure, yes, that it comes off differently, and your different spin, all of that stuff that comes with it. Okay, post second year, starting to feel comfortable and everything. Go into your junior year, and then now we were about 3/4 of the way through your senior year. What have the last 2 years been like?
It's been amazing. I've experienced a lot of different team dynamics and a lot of different people. So it's been a ride. It's been really fun.
Yeah. With that, a couple of things. We'll talk about the first thing. Being an upperclassman, how has that changed you in regards to, what, I need to step up now? And maybe you were or were not as a freshman or sophomore, but I'm the upperclassman. I have to be a leader. I have to represent this team and be an ambassador and everything. How have you developed into that? If you have, I should say.
No, yeah, I think, well, because I also have we have like a senior. She's a senior by credits. So last year, her and I had talked about what we wanted the team to look like because we knew we were going to be the oldest ones on the team. And so we had this whole vision and everything, and I think just being able to step into that leadership role was sort of difficult for me because I'm not one that's verbally like a leader. I'm more of like lead by example. Whereas Lucy is more of, verbally, like she'll tell them like, hey, this is what's up. But I would say like it came to me naturally. I don't say like, oh, I am the leader. It's just more like I feel like they look up to me, so I have a job in being a role model.
Definitely. Second part of what I was going to say is this year especially, very big change with Coach Kirsten taking over both programs. How has that shifted the dynamic and again brought it on a little more maybe attention to you onto you as an upperclassman? Like, all right, coach is not always around. We need to be on our A game as far as leading the squad.
I think just being able to push the girls and tell them like it's okay that she's not here. Like I mean, it'd be great if she was here, but we know what to do. And just being able to tell them this is the plan, because I mean we communicate with her, and so being able to tell them the plan and just kind of supporting each other kind of gets us through that.
Okay. All right. Again, off camera, you talked about some adversity you faced. As much as you want to talk about, it's your story to tell, or stories, I should say, to tell. Talk about a couple things that have, shown you that hey, I'm tougher than I thought I was.
Yeah, I would say, I don't want to get too into it, but my summer had to be cut short this past summer, and it had to bring me back here, which is fine. But there were some things I had to figure out as far as like how I'm gonna get my money, like how am I gonna support myself in different ways. But I just found my strength in God and in trying to just find my support system.
You had to grow up quick, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
fortunately, you were 21, 22. It wasn't, anything like that. High school as well. Anything? I mean, you talked about that. You're like, all right, the confidence isn't quite there because, again, you started a little bit later. What got you through that? I mean, was it just simply the score started hitting, or did something come about that you're like, all right, yeah, I believe in myself?
I think it was really my support system. My dad, for sure, he was always so supportive of my bowling, and he always used to say like, you're gonna be great, like you're doing good, and I'm proud of you. Not only that, but also just telling myself like I can do better than what I'm doing right now. And it was just putting in the work every day, even mentally, just preparing myself for the bad days, for the good days, and just trying my best.
Definitely. All right, let's dig a little deeper into the women's bowling team. Tell us a couple stories about the team that make bowling, first off, a little bit different than other sports, but also that makes your team different than other teams that you've seen, that you guys are like. Just some fun stories.
Oh, there's a lot.
G and PG rated stories.
Yeah. I would say if anyone has watched our live stream, you could see the energy that we bring to the table. The chemistry is there, and it's very clear. Let me think of a story. There's one story where it was actually my fault, but there was a story. It was, I believe, 2 years ago, and we had varsity and JV traveling, and I had roomed with the varsity girls, but we both started at different times, and so I get a call on my phone, and they're like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm sleeping." And they're like, "Well, you're late." And so I had to jump out of bed and get ready. Meanwhile, the other girls were just laughing at me, taking videos, like, oh.
Oh, Kelcey.
Yeah, it was quite a time. It was funny.
All right, let's out Coach Foster a little bit. Tell a funny story about Coach that people wouldn't know about.
As far as like people that aren't part of the bowling team.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that without staying PG.
Right. Okay. Describe her and describe Coach. I would say one word, but let's not do that. Let's not.
She really is like a mother. She's been there for me through my hard times, and I just think that's something that you can't really get with some coaches. But even when she's a coach, I told her this, I think a week ago. I said, "You're a really good coach, but even when you're not a coach, you're still a good friend."
Oh, there you go.
So I just think having her, as a friend and a coach is really nice.
Yeah, something. You always strive to be, for sure. All right. Anything else that people would be like, "Wow, I didn't know that about Kelcey." Again, that you're willing to dive into. So let's talk about hobbies, things that you do outside of bowling.
I like to play video games.
Okay.
Sleeping is, I think, everybody's favorite as well.
Yes, it is.
I'm like an old lady. I don't really go out and, party or anything like that. I'm more of like stay inside, watch a movie, watch shows, play video games, play board games.
Gotcha.
Pretty much it.
Post William Penn, what does that look like for you?
I am going to basic training in Missouri in August, and
Down in
then
Fort Lionwood, right?
yes,
Yep.
and I won't be back until next year February.
Okay.
And then after that, it's just kind of finding a job. I'm gonna go back to school again though to get my bachelor's in nursing,
Gotcha. And I jumped over that. You're currently majoring in
biology.
biology. Okay. And you're going to go and finish off nursing. And you're going to have some kind of military component within all of that. Okay. Maybe you'll be a military nurse then, I guess, right? That's more or less what we're looking at. Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, I think we've dug in pretty deep and figured out some things. So once again, Kelcey Aczon-Kwamura of the women's bowling team, thank you so much for sitting down with us and letting us find out more about you. So
Thank you for having me.
excited. All right. Thanks so much.